And this is the final product. Mega urinal screen for the urinal. Today we're going to be installing for Fusion in Dallas. The first thing that we do is draw the center line of where we're going to mount all of our pilasters. The pilasters get two brackets, one at 17 inch at the bottom and at 65 inch at the top. We use the bracket to mark the hole on the center line. We mark the center line and then we take the bracket and we mark the other hole. Because this is the end of the panels, gonna get a one ear with the ear facing in. Then on our other side, mark the same brackets, one at 65 at the top, 17 at the bottom. The center line is drawn based off of the shop drawings for every layout of how deep the stall is. If this is a ADA handicap stall, it's gonna be at least 60 inch. And these are the old mounts. That top one was probably for the headrail. For sheetrock, we use toggle bolts. When designing a layout, and when working with a good general contractor, they'll make sure to put blocking beforehand. But on these remodels, you want to be compliant for the handicap stall, and they usually don't rip open the walls to put a blocking. So the toggle bolts are strong enough because the pilasters will get mounted into the concrete. Half inch drill bit. We like the toggle bolts with the plastic strap. First bracket going in. Second bracket going in. You're going so slow with it, it's lasting a long time. So he's not letting it drill for more than a couple seconds. He's probably got more than 30 holes out of it. He starts at an angle to get started. Every brand has a different size. The most common sizes are 1/4 inch and 3/8. So check the installation instructions to see which size holes. These are for the 3/8, and then some have smaller ones for the 1/4 inch. With your holes in and your plastic anchors, you're ready to screw in the brackets.
It's calling for a 1 inch back gap, and it's gonna be a 2 inch pilaster. Then I'm just gonna go back to 7/8.
Mark where you're gonna drill the hole. Mark the door, mark the neck pilaster, everything according to the blueprints.
That's it.
And then we can drill those holes that he marked. Those are gonna be the holes for the floor mounts. And the installation instructions tell you how far in from the side they go. Stickers. Drill it with 3/16, then grab your screw, put in one screw for now, maybe more. But so that way he can start setting his door and make sure that it fits. Out on the other hole to the other pilaster. Fresh bit. And how to install these, you just twist it on. And watch how quickly a new bit is done cut. Don't forget to hydrate. First panel in. You put them on some stands, something at 12 inch, and you just slide it in between the brackets. and it'll hold by itself. While you position everything, put in a leveling bolt. The small 2-inch one didn't get one because it's 2-inch, but 4-inch and above, you get a leveling bolt, and that way you can raise or lower it to adjust for the floor level. Peeling the next shoe. Slide the pilaster over with the shoe. You're putting in the screw.
I'll probably like the cams you have, so it stays right there.
So he's gonna cut the headrail so that it can hold this pilaster in place that I'm holding. This is an alcove layout where the stall is from the side. When you come in the alcove, there should be almost no gap between this side panel and this pilaster. He's gonna trim the end off.
This is good enough.
For a screw. We're gonna lower this pilaster so that the headrail is level. And we have the adjustment bolt at the bottom. And you use the laser to see the height. Perfect.
So I'm gonna do one more in and that's it.
Professional.
Before.
Filling in the side again. No. You're setting it at 12 inches.
12 inches to here.
Pass-through bolt on both sides. They go one direction.
So if the door is gonna swing out, I'm gonna make sure I'm at least 15 degrees in of the room. So when it swings hard.
Tighten it a little bit. Okay. You want me to grab you a stand?
No, I'm good to do everything by myself.
Okay. He's gonna put it in the center. The door will travel up and down with the cam hinge. Checks the gaps. The gap here you can't change. That's a very normal gap. And then here we can move the pilaster over to get this gap perfect. Checking the level. He likes how everything's fitting, so he is putting in the additional screws to secure this permanently.
Future is metal. Bottom and top. I'm gonna try to close the gap as much as possible.
That's pretty perfect.
So because it didn't swing out, I'm gonna let this.
Once the pilaster is exactly where it needs to be, you put in the next headrail. And you're gonna screw this. Super gentle. It's way too easy to over tighten it and then back it out a little bit.
You see? This is the size. And for this you wanna do a long bit. Short is gonna break.
Alcove clips. These alcove clips are the only ones from Knickerbocker that have a different size star head. They anchor the right starter bit because every manufacturer has different sizes. Back of a car. Still digging for the star bit.
You feel like this works? Okay. Okay, good.
Stop bouncing there. Top alcove clip. Just gonna put this panel in permanently. You leveled it with the jack. You're making it look too easy. The customers are not gonna want to pay us. He's gonna do the cross brace.
16 and 8.
So if it's 60 and an 8, maybe he's gonna do 59 and 3/4. U bracket on this side. You can put the return headrail anywhere, or the cross brace anywhere, but he perfectly centers it.
Everyone saying, oh, probably, yeah, I'm right there. That's cool. This is probably 60 already. No. Very true.
Yeah.
I'm good. House looks for you. Just push it out a little or in.
So he was checking that it's plumb with the pilaster. Otherwise, he could have pushed the headrail out just a tad to set the pilaster exactly where it is. Alcove is almost done. We're gonna put the coat hangers, the door handles. We're gonna set the screw on the door hinges, and then we're gonna set the self-close cam in the right position at the bottom. On the ADA, this is gonna be an ADA handicap stall where you get grab bars, 60-inch stall. You need a door handle outside and inside. And then they're gonna put the door stock at the bottom corner, 3 inches in from the bottom and the side. To not drill through. Coat hanger goes no higher than 48 inch.
Sideways, you can do whatever you want.
So he centers it.
That's true.
Seven inches in. We're gonna do this one 7 inches in. It can go anywhere as long as it's not over 48 inch. So we set it at the same height as the lock, 7 inches in. This is a through bolt, so it's gonna get a 1/4 inch bay.
Up the rack too. Let's see.
Self closes. ADA. ADA approved. Just Knickerbocker shoes are a huge pain in the butt, especially the two. These big ones are easier because you can push it together from the sides to open it up a little bit. But the bolts are there underneath these clips. Nice. So every screw is in. That is a completed stall. Now we just have to dust and wipe. Completed alcove. Something's missing here, but we're gonna fix that right now. Hardware for the urinal screen. It's gonna be floor mounted, so they have these wedge bolts. Not a regular wall hung urinal screen. We're gonna install a floor mounted full height 58-inch urinal screen. So it's gonna be the same brackets as this panel because it's the same height as this panel. He uses his laser for where he wants the urinal screen to go. And then he'll put it at 17 and 65. So for the urinal screen, we have very little space here. We don't want to center it and be 26 inch and be really cramped. So we might go slightly off center. Yeah, after you get the grease off, and then you come a second time with a dry cloth, it'll get rid of everything. Put some grease on the hammer.
Too much pocket. Man, you know, I was creating tacos.
When we picked this location, we put it at 30 inches. It's off center, but you need at least 30 inches space because of how deep this panel is gonna be. Is whatever. Half of our job is peeling stickers. So we peel the top and the bottom where the brackets go. Because once we screw it in, it's easier to peel when you're by yourself and you only have yourself and no one else. Checking the square
I can't even
at the front, and then he checked it at the back, making sure that the gap is perfectly even. The thing is even after you screw it, you're gonna have to check it again until you mark your floor mounts. See, this is not a normal urinal screen. This is like a full-size panel urinal screen. Because your brackets at the back are centered at 30, right?
Yes.
So you're gonna center the front at 30 as well.
So you could use your laser.
Just use your laser to literally mark the center.
That's literally the face. And then that's the center. Then I probably do half inch of a gap. And to pilaster to bring it on. So I marked it in there. We can do the same. Brackets here, put it here, make sure you're level and mark the floor.
Just gonna mark the U brackets. It's gonna be the same 17 at the bottom.
It's right
It's perfectly centered. 65 at the top. And then centered. Maybe it was off.
You can usually do this, check label.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure you're level. It looks perfect, like right there.
But you didn't push it in all the way, right?
No, because you gotta like a little gap.
Yeah.
It looks. If you push it all the way, you can be like this, or like this. This is perfect. It's square.
I'm working it.
This is the most that you stick in there.
No, you want to go all the way flush. You're gonna have to tap that in with the flathead or something.
Oh, it feels like it hit something.
Like maybe you're not deep enough.
Yeah. You think that's gonna create a problem?
Yeah.
This is good.
So. But you're gonna be able to set these in with that they're gonna be super strong.
Okay. And then now washer.
Leveling nut, so you can lift it up and down. The tool, right? So what it does is creates a flat surface. Yep. And then what I did is I just started the nut with my finger, and then I.
Okay, so it's good.
Yeah, and once you start tightening the nut, it will push in the clip where it needs to be. The goal is for like it is just to get the nut started.
Even though they're expensive.
And oh. Sweet. And this is the final product. Mega urinal screen. So the urinal.